Good afternoon, Patreon community. My name is Casey McCarthy, and before anything else, I just want to thank you all so much for what you've contributed towards this work. And I also want to apologize. Um, I'm a notoriously camera shy person, and it's taken me a while to build up the gumption to start making video updates. And so this will be the first of many because I am deeply, deeply grateful of y'all supporting this project, and I want to make sure that things are nice and visible, and that I'm keeping y'all up to date with everything that's going on. So, again, I'm so sorry it's taken so long to get a first video out there, but y'all are joining me today in this wonderful frozen wasteland up in Elbert, Colorado. It's beautiful here. And I just wanted to take a moment to update y'all on what your money is going into. So we're at about $158 a month, I think, and again, I'm very grateful for that. We're looking to get to about 1,000 to 1,500 a month, which would be able to provide me opportunity to interface more on this project and be able to actually travel more to different locations. That's primarily what this money is going towards, is really just travel expenses. So that being said, just a brief overview from my actual mouth as to how this all came about. So I am a therapist based out here in Colorado, and am working with some cutting edge methods around trauma and healing communities, and a lot of it is coming from a perspective that is highly multicultural and based on practices from communities that are uh, a little more what in multicultural theory they call more collectivistic. So cultures that rely on a lot of interconnectivity and a lot of group process and things like that. And so I was reached out to by a good friend of mine who is a member of the Lakota and Cheyenne tribes, because I've done a lot of work over the years in those communities in different capacities. Everything from setting up supply convoys to Standing Rock to working with indigenous sex trafficking victims. I've been pretty deep in it, and so he reached out to me and told me the original figures that were put on the Patreon, that in many of these communities, 3 to 4 youth a week sometimes are killing themselves. And having heard all of that, I could not just sit by and not compel myself to action. So that was kind of the background for this Patreon. So where we're at right now is I've actually gone out to Pine Ridge and made some good initial connections there in terms of doing this work on the ground. I've connected with members of community mental health, of different legislative and judicial branches of the tribal government, and in fact, I just got an email back the other day from the director of HHS, Health and Human Services. And so I'm in contact now with the people who are driving initiatives towards suicidality. And right now, the exact phase we're at is, again, and why we're raising funds for this, is I need to network and make connections, because two things are very, very important to me. One is making sure that every single thing I do is vetted and known as a quantity to the people who are in these cultures. And two, it's very, very important to me as a white male that I am not the face behind all of this. I really want to be in the background and ultimately support efforts that are already in place and hopefully help to create opportunities for that. So where we're at right now is I am doing that introductory networking into all of these spaces very carefully. And from there, looking at the things that are already in place, the efforts that are already being implemented, and trying to find ways in which I can support that in terms of the therapeutic initiatives that I'm bringing to the table. So, Right now, again, we're trying to reach that mark of about 1,000 to 1,500 a month. That would allow me to be able to travel. That would allow me to be able to put some money in the pocket of folks that are helping me out. I am not the only one who is working with this right now. I've got a team of 4 people, including my co-therapist, Daikato, who's from Japan and doing wonderful work around trauma and the body. Abby Pleviak, who has graciously stepped up from being a donor to actually wanting to volunteer in moving this forward. And so also working with Eric Linderman, who was gracious enough to help me set up the Patreon and has been doing a lot of online work. So we have a team in place, and I would like to be able to kick them something for their time and be able to fund myself and being able to travel and connect with the people I need to connect with. So that's kind of my first, albeit potentially very awkward, video update. But again, it's very important to me that you all know that I really, really appreciate you supporting this and that work is being done. So I'm going to pledge personally from here on out to provide more updates for y'all so that there's more transparency and visibility into what you're putting your money into. So please, by all means, feel free to contact me. I believe that my email is readily available on the Patreon, and if it's not, I'll fix that. Because I want to hear from y'all. I want this to be a collaborative process. So that being said, it's pretty freezing out here, and I'm holding this phone up with bare hands. So I'm going to get off now, but look forward to more updates soon. And let's keep this project moving forward. Thank you all so much. I deeply appreciate it.